morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. So 3, 2, 1, my juicy little hearts. Thank you, little hearts. You're delicious and bright. Okay then, my delicious little babies. So what's the time, Mr. Wall? So it's 10 to 3 in the afternoon, my delicious little babies, in our old England. And it's a little bit windy. It was rather windy earlier, actually. A little bit chilly. And well, you know, the sky is grey, okay? And it's been on off raining. But I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously and that you've got better weather than what I have here in my neck of the woods in our old England, my delicious babies. Now then, 3 pieces of information, my delicious little babies. So the first one, this one here, this was uploaded 2 days ago. This is all on YouTube, by the way, my delicious little babies. Over 55 minutes long. The uploader happens to have 236,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies. The uploader in the old space bar, capital U, unpopular, space, capital N, notes. You know, like a note of paper. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, yeah. So, that's the uploader, unpopular space notes. And the video should read 5 disturbing videos of people trapped in pure horror. Okay, my little beautifuls. Yeah. This is to do with different... well, very sadly, different situations, okay? And to be honest, if because for ones who already know this, well, ones will know that, you know, this goes on each and every day, okay? But, you know, the thing is, what's the point I'm making? You could walk outside, okay, and everything could be all hunky-dory, tickety-boo. You know, you might see somebody walk down the road. You know, we've all done it over the decades. You see somebody walk down the road, and, you know, and your thoughts are, oh, you know, they're just, you know, quiet, or, you know, or maybe they're not looking very happy, or, and then you can get the other side where somebody can look super duper deliciously happy, but underneath it all, their home life is not very nice. Okay, my delicious little babies. So that is the first one. Okay. And now the second one, my delicious little babies. Now, I was actually scrolling looking for this. Now, for some of you, my delicious little babies, you may know of these uploaders. Okay, you may know about all these uploaders, but me personally, I do not. Okay, this first one, this is just over 17 minutes long, and it's only hours old, so I'll probably say, I don't know, probably about 22, 23 hours old now, okay, when it was uploaded. This uploader happens to have 9.23 million subscribers, my delicious little babies. Is that the one? Is it that one, or is it the other one? Oh, anyway, there's one of them. They've only done since 2015. It's one of these 2 uploaders that I'm mentioning, my delicious little babies. 365 videos, and they've got all those millions of subscribers, my delicious little babies. But from what I can see, these there are really, really good channels. Okay, my little beautifuls that you all are. And this one is called capital B-E, space, capital I, inspired. Okay, my little beautiful. So it should read, once typed into the old space bar, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, be inspired. Okay. And the video should read, world's smartest kid disappeared after saying too much on live TV. Okay, my little beautifuls. I'll just repeat that again for you. World's smartest kid. I hate that word kid. I prefer to call them little bands, disappeared after saying too much on live TV. Yes. Now, what this is all about, this young little Ben, he talks about to do with parallel, to do with. I'm wondering, I could have seen this little Ben's, before somewhere on another video. Okay, but it's got to be there. We are a very long time back when I saw, this little Ben was. He happens to be a very, there we are, clever little young man. Okay. Well, then he disappeared. So everybody was trying to look for him. They couldn't find him on any videos. They couldn't find him anywhere. But eventually, I do think that somebody, I think, spotted him on a Facebook or something. But he just kept out of the way, really. So, well, what is this saying? Well, this is clearly saying that if you say anything that you're not supposed to say, well, somebody will, figure of speech, clamp down on you. Okay. Now, the next two, these are both on the same uploader. Okay. My little lovelies. And this uploader happens to have 3.71 million subscribers. My delicious little babies. This was uploaded 5 days ago. And it's over 20 minutes long. And it is called capital V, video, space, capital A, advice. Okay, my little lovely. So that is the uploader, video, space, advice. And the video should read, the interview they tried to erase from the internet. Okay, my little beautifuls. So the interview they tried to erase from the internet. Yes, this is to do with a man called Gary Mckinnon. Now, what was it? Was it between the years 2001 and 2002 in London, in our old England? Our delicious little babies. He managed to hack into where was it? NASA, the Pentagon. He's English, my delicious little babies. Anyway, so he was threatened then with a life imprisonment of over 60 years. Okay. But they set him free. But the thing is that ever since then, and towards the end of that video, my delicious little babies, he's actually been interviewed by Richard D. Hall. There we are. He's very good, Richard D. Hall. I have mentioned him before, and with anybody not in that way, but he is very good. Okay. Because with Richard D. Hall, there we are. He likes to, to get to the bottom of what's going on. Okay. Well, bless him for that. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I've always said that. He's a very good, journalist. And, this one here, either he was told to keep stum, zippy, okay, to zip it, okay, because whatever he knows, he's not revealing the rest, okay. But it's interesting to listen to. He also talks about free energy. Well, there's a bit about this to do with the other video that I've just mentioned. There are a number of videos now, if one's look. I know that some do. Okay, there we are, that talk about this. Okay. But of course, again, when one's talk about this, but luckily, there we are, his life was spared. Now, delicious little babies, you know, but not everybody's is. Just like the next one I'm going to mention, and then I'm just got to say some sad news, and then I'm going to be over and out. This one's also on the same channel, the same uploader on YouTube, My Little Lovelies. And so it's 3.71 million video advice. Just over 19 minutes long. 1 month ago. So it's the same channel, but this is 1 month ago. So you need to click on the, you know, the round circle. Well, anyway, you know how to do it, My Little Lovelies. And then you just click on videos, and it's a case of scrolling down until you find this video. Please and thank you. And the video should read: the banned 1998 interview that exposed a discovery too big to hide. Now, I'll just repeat it again. The banned video, the banned 1998 interview that exposed a discovery too big to hide. Now, okay. So this is to do with another man, bless him, who a year later, he was found very sadly murdered. Okay. Now, this is to do with MIT, but then you go back to 1989. But what happened was, once he explained everything on this video, my little beautiful that you all are, well, let's just say it never went down very well. Anyway, all around that time, was it around that time, okay? Or something around this part. Was it universities were shutting their doors? Nobody, you know, basically they couldn't, you know, just a figure of speech, fire ones up, you know, and everything appeared to be going wrong because more and more we're finding out there we are the truth about, you know, what was going on anyway. Well, the thing is, what this dear man was saying on this interview. Now, I'm not talking to anybody who happens to cross my channel who already has seen this. I'm not talking to any of those, okay, my little lovelies. I'm talking to our little lovelies who have not seen this, okay? I'm pretty sure I've seen this dear man there we are as well before. I'm pretty sure I have, but it must be years back. There we are when I've seen it, okay? Because I don't know, something jogged my memory when I was, you know, when I seen him. I thought, oh yes, I thought, I know, you know what I mean? Way before I ever started on my YouTube channel, okay? Well, the fact of the matter is, my delicious little babies, is that what he was saying is that everything is born on a lie. Well, of course, years ago, because this is going to be, is it 4 years this year since I've been doing my videos on YouTube? Now, I mentioned about this. Now, I'd seen a video on, was it on BitChute or was it on YouTube? I think I've seen one on each, okay? And I actually said it because I've wrote everything in my books over these past nearly 4 years, okay? Because next month will be a year. 4 years, sorry, okay? My little beautifuls. And I said, and I told everybody, oh, my nose is itching, I'm going to get spraz. And I said that, sorry about that, my little lovelies, that it is said that, you know, aeroplanes, okay, that they do not run off petrol or diesel. And I watched these videos, there we are, myself, okay, and it sounds mad, there we are, and it sounds bonkers. But what it was saying on these videos is that they run off steam. You know, it's like water. Now, towards the end of this video, okay, my little lovelies, this is what this dear man was talking about, that you could run a car on water. You know, so instead of having oil, there we go, water. So it just proves, okay, that the videos that I saw, and I wrote them down, I've kept my books, And I was lucky if I had 1 or 2 views. Because that's what, there we are, that's what YouTube does. So anybody who says, I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't like this. It seems to have gone, from what I can see, my delicious little babies, with YouTube, it seems to happen, there we are, in certain years. And then what they do, they pull the reins, it's a figure of speech, they pull the reins in. So some videos that we are can get out, and they can get a lot of coverage. Sorry, yeah, stumbling there, I'm not changing my video. Get a lot of coverage. Now you could have, say, the same video in another, there we are, in another year. There we are, I know what I'm saying. My delicious little babies, okay? The same video in another year, right? And they won't let it get out at all. Okay? That's why I always say it's important to go backwards. There we are. And there are many, bless them, there we are, who've been doing that for a long time, for decades. You know? But of course, my videos wouldn't get out because I look like a bonkers, crackers and crazy woman. I was telling others what the videos that I'd saw for some, and they just laughed at me. But of course, once I heard this today, that there we are, casting my noddle back to when I wrote it all down, to do with the planes. You see what I mean? But of course, it would make you look like a mad woman. Now, what we also have to look at, because when I wrote that video down, I looked at those videos, and then I was thinking, oh yeah, like when you got the pipe, like you got this great big, which would look like petrol or diesel, whatever it is, in the airports, okay? And then you got this big sort of, but what exactly is being pumped, there we are, is being pumped in. You see? So it could look like petrol or diesel, couldn't it? Just like, okay, let me just give you an example. See, what's just coming to mind, right? So you've got, say you've got, thank goodness we do not hear a lot of fire engines these days, Martin, little babies. At one time we used to hear flipping hundreds, okay? Very sadly. So a fireman's hose, I'm only just came into my noddle. So a fireman's hose does not, it's very strong, isn't it? But it does not have diesel or petrol coming out of it, does it? Okay, my little beautifuls, it has, there we are, water. Okay? Just like you could go to a petrol pump, and even though it's rubber, so the petrol or diesel, it's coming through the rubber, but you could put other things through. Sorry, let me rewind to start again. What I mean is, sorry, I need to just, start again, okay? So, say you've got a large rubber, like rubber tube, okay? So, at a petrol pump, right, instead of petrol and diesel, okay, those rubber pipes can be used for other things. Can be used for water. I suppose in some cases maybe could be used for like I don't know, just got a gel, like a glue, a gel thing, to squirt that. Do you know what I'm saying? I know. There we are. I know what I'm talking about. My delicious little babies, okay? So when I looked at these videos to do the aeroplane, okay, this is all linked into what I'm talking about. So when I looked at, I thought, well, yes, actually, there we are. That would make sense. To myself, there we are, it would make sense. Because because I've always been fascinated with aeroplanes, okay? I just love them, I love to see them take off and land, you know what I mean? I just think they're wonderful. What a wonderful invention. But, well, anything's a wonderful invention, isn't it? But I mean, I'm especially, to do with planes because of, how they can go in the sky. Do you see what I mean? It's like that, okay? But they're actually a lot lighter than what they look. Do you see what I'm saying, my delicious babies? So getting back to this video, like I said, it makes it sound like I'm a bonkers, crackers and crazy woman when I'm not. I'm no such thing. Okay? But when I was listening to this, especially towards the end with this dear man, I thought, yes. Now, you can actually run a car on coconut oil. Okay? My delicious babies, I mentioned this before as well. So, somewhere, it's been there we are. Porcupines, hasn't it? Liar, 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 bums on fire. And this is what this dear man was saying in his video. What he was saying in this interview is that if ones had not have been lied to, okay, we wouldn't have had all of the passings away of, very sadly, of mankind. We wouldn't be having all these problems now. And it all makes that we are perfect sense. Now, of course, you'll get some. So now I'm going to close my book. So now you'll get some. And they'll say, well, you're just talking, need to always go backwards, by the way, my delicious babies. You know, someone say, well, you know, you're talking crazy, you're a crazy woman. Well, actually, no. No, I'm not. No. I do not believe I am. I believe there we are. We have been lied to terribly. Now, that dear man, okay, over these decades and decades and decades, that dear man there, like I said, he was very sadly found murdered, and may his dear soul rest in peace. May you rest in peace. But I'm pretty sure it's not, because, you know, because he can see, there we are, from spirit, what's been going on. And it's very interesting to read some of the comments. I mean, I know that some do not like to read comments, fair enough. But the fact of the matter is, it's very interesting, but and of course I do not read, but, you know, probably just a few here and a few there. But nevertheless, the point is that at the end of the day, we've all been lied to. Now, over these years, like I say, you know, I said earlier, you know, there's been more and more who've been talking about this free energy. Now, well, again, we're getting stung. There we are, left, right, and centre for everything. There we are. This is free. Do you see what I mean? I've seen some marvellous little videos. When was it? Years ago now, on TikTok, you know, where they've just shown, you know, and the things just swelled, you know, and it's all a natural energy. So I've seen lots and lots, there we are, of different videos. My little delicious babies out there. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it, but please, for anybody who hasn't watched any of these videos, there we are, please take a look. And, you know, because on their channels, there we are, you may very well find other, there we are, interesting and fascinating videos to take a look at. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, and finally, I had a dear, beautiful neighbour of mine over the back, and her name, bless her, was called Mary. And 3 years ago, it is on my channel, my little beautifuls, where we did a little video together. You never seen her face, but you know, she did not want her face to come onto the camera, but she was quite happy to talk. Bless her beautiful dear little soul. And she was talking about, you know, going back to, you know, after the old pandemic and what very sadly followed, and that she believed something, so she went and had two. Okay. And this video, in our video, she talks about how she felt, what happened for herself. She had strokes. Okay. I actually did put on my video, you know, having a talk, you know, with Mary. And that was 3 years ago, when she brought a little chihuahua, little Mickey. He came on the camera for a short time. Well, I got a telephone call yesterday from one of her dear Mary's dear daughter-in-laws, because she does have a lot of family. My delicious little babies, bless her. And to say that dear little Mary had passed away on Sunday evening. Yeah, it's just so very, very, very sad. It wasn't so very long ago. It wasn't where I took her some soup because she enjoys there we are the soups that I do, and she enjoyed them. She'd say, "Oh, let me pay you for it, Carla." I said, "I don't want anything." I said, "I make a large pot." So I would usually take them to our lovely dear little Mary and another lovely dear little lady up the road as well. They're both beautiful dear ladies, okay? So it was nothing to myself. Do you see what I mean, okay? And I said, I'll put my number through. I said, and because she was suffering a lot with her feet, they were swelling up. But we never did get to have that walk. I said, well, you can link on my arm. I said, and we can walk up the path along the footpath. I said, and we can walk back again, slowly, to help. Because prior to, which she does say so herself on the camera, my delicious little babies, prior to that, she was a very fit lady, dear lady for her age. I said, so well, if we do that, to help her, with her feet and everything. I said we could bring little Mickey out as well. You know what I mean? He can walk along with us, and little Rubes, you know what I mean? But we never got to do that. A beautiful little Mickey, a little Chihuahua. He's gone to another part of the family now, okay? And he will be well looked after. So he would be, he was 9 months 3 years ago. Do you see what I mean, okay? So he's not very old, his little Mickey, but he's going to truly miss his beautiful little mum, bless his little mammy. And I just felt really, really upset yesterday because it was a shock. For myself, it was a shock. I just wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of my video. My habits are beautiful, so I'm still upset today, but I am going to be given a date for when our beautiful dear little Mary services and and her dear daughter-in-law has kindly said that they will let me know when our beautiful dear little Mary services, our little beautiful. But it's just so sad. She loved her family, absolutely loved them, adored them. Because she's got like sons and daughters, 5, you know, uh, sons and daughters, and so she's got a lot of grandbairns and a lot of great grandbairns, and she loved life. What she never liked was having all these illnesses in this past 3 year. She said her legs were in terrible pain, and she just felt like in pain. Whereas prior to that there was nothing wrong with her at all. And of course, because her flat is upstairs, it was very difficult, just walking down the stairs and walking up the stairs. Do you see? So our beautiful dear little Mary, may you rest in peace. Our little beautiful little angel that she was. She'll be with us. But the strangest thing was, it was between 5 and 6 a.m. yesterday morning. I did have a smell of perfume, like very sweet perfume. I never managed to say it to our beautiful dear little Mary's dear daughter-in-law, bless her, because I was just too much in shock, to tell you the truth, okay? But it made perfect sense to me because at that time in the morning, yesterday morning, and I woke up and I had that sweet smell. And I thought, I'm going to hear something. But strangely enough, Sunday, there we are, there was a lot of sirens, like for on and off for most of the day. I'm pretty sure it was Sunday. And I thought, there we are, I thought very sadly, I thought I'm going to hear something. Because I also know as somebody else, bless their beautiful dear little souls as well, that the dear lady's husband, dear son's dear daddy bear, that he's not very well either. So the whole lot is just extremely sad. So must just keep our beautiful dear little Mary's beautiful dear little family, well, not little family, large family, and her beautiful little Mickey all in our thoughts, and anybody who you may know, who is going through a very difficult and very sad time at the moment. But yes, really upset me. Really, 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 really has. Because I will not be making her any more soup. I walked by her home today. Just sad. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. And how I love you also. And please take care of yourself. Sorry, and please take care of others. Yeah. I listened back to our little video that we did 3 years ago yesterday evening. Yeah. So at least I've still got our beautiful dear little Mary's voice, and I've still got our beautiful little Mickey on the camera. Okay, so until I do my next video, you just take very good care now. How I love you all so. Look after now. Thank you so very much for any views, for any likes, and for listening. Thank you so very much, okay? And may we keep everybody in our thoughts, whether they are our beautiful mankind, friends, family, work colleagues, or who we call our beautiful little sons and daughters, and all the beautiful little and large birdies, little and large animals, creatures, great and small, all around the world. May we keep them all in our thoughts and hearts. So until the next time, take care. Thank you. Love ya. Goodbye.